Many young Igbo persons are returning to Igọ Mmụọ. Igọ Mmụọ is not Juju. It is not quick money ritual. It is not greed. Listen to Professor Opata and hear what Igọ Mmụọ is.
Ndigbo, I've come here to talk about the nature of Igbo religion. That's Igọ Mmụọ.
The nature of Igbo religion.
Or the structure, the nature and structure of Igbo religion. And that is Igọ Mmụọ.
So Igbo religion is called Igọ Mmụọ.
Yes. Even though some people will say Igbo traditional religion, African traditional religion, as if that religion is classifiable into modernity and traditional.
Yeah. So Opata is warning that many people are not returning to their roots for spiritual seriousness. They are entering because they think there is a quick route to wealth. While Igọ Mmụọ delivers spiritual blessings, its foundation is not quick money. And it does not promote greed. So you've noticed that young Igbo men and women, there's a surge to go back to the foundational religion.
Yes, there is, but there is a problem. They're not going back to it for the sake of practicing Igbo religion. They're going into it for what they allege is making quick money.
Okay, so they believe that there is quick route to wealth.
Yes.
In dealing with the
Ipake and all that.
Okay.
But it's a big problem because from my experience, what I've known, what they do is not really they use the religion as an instrument, but they're into Juju and all manner of medicine making.
I want you to explain here very clearly that the effort of the young Igbo people to explore what they believe is the ancient religion of their fathers.
Yeah.
Is not driven by spiritual need.
Yes, not driven by spirituality. It's driven by greed.
Greed.
Well, that's many of them. Indeed, most of them that I know who are restating shrines abandoned, even without adherence to tradition or doing that. Well, there's some of them who strictly worship some deities and get what they want. There's a deity somewhere around the sugar zone. People always crowding there. The deity had done this for them and not done that for them. They kill cows, they kill ram, and they kill other things. Okay, let me take my own town. Adada. I don't know what is the ledger.
Yeah.
Is the ancestral female deity of the town. And some scammers, some Yahoo boys, I've quarreled with them several times. The practice that they do that I know from the nature of Adada, that she does not allow evil. She does not condone evil. Now, I know that many of them, they go there and she says, as I learned, that if you come for everything, she will turn her back on you. And you talk and go. So, but the many of them consult DBS, to help them with one thing or the other to make money. Now, but sometimes in order to cover what they're doing, they come to the shrine, to the water, or to the Obu, and say that Adada has done this for them to cover what they're doing. But we know as experienced practitioners that she frowns very strictly on any evil deeds. Indeed, let me tell you one example. He has somebody serving her, and then the person charged somebody 500,000 to Igbo, for them to succeed in Yahoo. So now she knew about it and told the man to return the 500,000 to the person. So while he was delivering, she caused the guy to have an accident. He had to go and refund that 500,000 to the individual. And now, if you go to the person, I want to do this for me for you. I will say, I don't even know how to. I don't even know the person to refer you to. I don't know the person to refer you to. So the return is not, in essence, for spirituality or for recovery of a lost heritage of Igbo religion, but they use it as an instrument.
The word structure is important. A thing that has structure cannot be dismissed as mere confusion. Professor Opata is not presenting Igbo religion as noise or superstition. He's saying that it has a nature and a structure. I'd like you to now explain it like step by step. What's Igọ Mmụọ?
Igọ Mmụọ, now we have done away with what it is not. And I've mentioned that it's not historical, it's not institutional, but it's institutional in a way, in terms of there was no written documentation.
Yes, okay.
But through the practice, there was continuity in the practice.
Okay.
But there's no book, no holy book.
Yes.
You are going to see this is the holy book of Igbo religion. Now, but incidentally, the commandments, Christian commandments, I don't want to say anything that is new, except perhaps love yourself as a neighbor. And because when we are said, Igbo also say, that your neighbor is your brother.
Yes.
So it's the same thing with
love your neighbor as yourself.
Because it do not steal, do not kill. Sometimes the most stricter form in adultery, like a man sleeping with a married woman, It's an abomination, not just an evil thing. It's an abomination.
Yeah.
So, and it's killing also. So I do not see any new thing. And we are there before Christianity came. So they cannot claim that they brought these ethical values or commands to Igbo land. They were there. What they say they brought to us, we're already there. Now, there are 2 or 3 types of worship. Direct worship in terms of offering of sacrifice, either kola, even cow, goat, ram. You bring those ones to the shrine. Then there's Igbo Eja, not Rituaja, because Rituaja is sacrificing clearly.
Okay.
But
so the concept of Rituaja came from Christianity.
No, we have Igbo Eja. That is removing evil.
Okay.
You do not do it in the shrine. If there's something that is part to happen, either you are told to go and present it in the shrine or Igbo Eja. Then they mention the things, the content of Igbo Eja. Then you are asked to go to a road, a crossing, 3 junctions. And, you first of all go to a shrine. So this is what I'm doing. You pack all the items and carry it and drop. This is what I saluted, banned in Anambra State. And to be very frank with you, I don't like it myself. Because, number one, unless you are so formed, you cannot just go to cross where people are passing and you stop to drop something. And people will look at you as, but some people don't mind it. They say that every other person does it. So, but many times if I'm told to this, I say, can I convert it? Or if I can't convert it, then can you do it for me? Yes. The diviner will do it for me. Can it?
Okay, so you don't like that?
That's the only aspect of Igbo religion.
That they are uncomfortable with.
I'm not comfortable with that.
Why?
Along the road, you stop your car. I can't something like it. Any person passing will look at you as a student.
Okay, so for you, because of the social stigma it can bring.
Yeah.
That ain't bad. What does it do?
Driving away things that are evil that may come your way.
Okay.
Which is also what you can achieve through sacrifice. But Ibaja is the appeasement of spirits that are not domiciled in any shrine.
Okay. Strange spirits.
Strange spirits, alienated spirits who don't have shrines. Dedicated to
There's
them.
no shrine dedicated to them, so they hover.
They hover around. Okay. So they tell the time to do it when they may be around and other things.
Okay. So those sacrifices are because these spirits do not have any shrine. So you don't have a place you can relate with them.
You don't have no
so you go to that and crossroads
for them and go away.
Okay.
That's the Ritualism. Then the Igọ Mmụọ is part of Igọ Mmụọ, but not in the shrine.
Okay. Yes, Igọ Mmụọ has no central authority or holy book that declares its values. The practice endured across time and gave the Igbo society moral order with no serious conflict between Christianity and Igọ Mmụọ. Christianity did not meet empty people. Christianity met Igbo people who already knew that theft was wrong, killing was wrong, and that certain violations were abominations.
As a practitioner, the first thing you invoke, the first entity you invoke is God in any shrine. Then you invoke the sun. Then you invoke the land where you are. And then other areas where you have stayed, you can do that. But the requirement is that the God, that's Chukwu is the token, sun, land, before you now start making your requests. When you finish with land, now you go to ancestors and deities and know how to place the requests you want with them. So that's the nature of practice.
Okay. So the routine of practice is you get into your shrine.
Yes.
You call upon God.
Yes.
You call upon the sun.
Yes.
Then the land where you come from.
And then your ancestors and deities.
Finally, Prof. Opata gives the viewer a useful takeaway. Igbo prayer was not random. Igbo prayer had order, which recognized God, the sun, land, ancestors, the world of spirits, the link between man and his place of dwelling, and the responsibility each person has to follow the order of things. Any Igbo religious practice that removes order and morality has already left the foundation. If this message changes your thoughts about Igọ Mmụọ Igbo, share it with any person who thinks that Igbo ancestral spirituality is about Juju, demonic practices, and quick money. Don't forget to subscribe to the Ndigbo channel for more of this kind of information.